defenseman picks it up, passes it up to a forward.
With like 7 seconds to go.
Coast to coast. What?
It's actually, yeah, Mike Richards, please don't touch him, he's pretty. Let go of him, he's old. Like, what is he gonna do? What are you doing? He's a baby. He would do nothing wrong.
Guy loves chicken too.
Chewbacca?
I said $1 million and the rights to Newfoundland.
She answered the question!
Agree.
I was right!
Honolulu.
You guys are so loud for people who are agreeing with each other.
Yes. So I'm just generally kind of bummed, Alex.
Here we are again for another episode of Coast to Coast, where the Flames continue to not pick a direction.
They're so good.
I'm host as always, Alex Burkett, Phil Tremblay,
Yes.
Merrick Robinson,
Hello.
Casey Freeman,
Hello.
and Braden Redshaw.
Hello.
And on the show today, we're going to talk about some Flame stuff, some Oilers stuff, some Jets stuff, some Hall of Fame stuff, some P-Dub stuff,
a lot of
some
stuff.
Four Nations stuff, and of course on Tuesdays the Dub and Q corner.
A lot of stuff.
But first, let's jump right in with Tim Hortons cards that we've kind of been making segments of.
We love the Tim Hortons cards. They're so fun.
I already opened quote unquote my pack just so this would take less time.
One of us.
Nick Suzuki.
Nice.
Nice.
I have a True North Futures Mitch Marner
Ooh. You have
and
that upside down.
a Joe Manjosi.
Joe Manjosi. One of these days, one of us is going to win a trip to the 2025 Stanley Cup.
It's a law of
It's going to happen.
It's a law of averages.
It's going to happen.
That will be-
Casey's going to be mad.
What?
That's actually a great 3-on-3 line.
I'm going to see.
Suzuki, Marner, Yossi.
Who do we got? Oh, I got another Jack Hughes, the exact same card I got last week.
Jack Hughes.
I got that one
Oh,
player you
and then I got a Frozen Hot Shots Quinn Hughes.
Oh,
So that's kind of fun.
Brother.
Here comes Luke.
And
Here
then I
comes Luke.
got a Dallas Star, Mr. Miro Heiskanen. That's a nice card.
that is actually nice.
Yeah, not a bad pull. Anyone want my Jack Hughes?
No.
No.
Okay.
This is
Dog.
why you open them
I'm having.
beforehand. This is why you open them beforehand.
I think he did.
So I got Jonathan Marchessault,
Is it Vegas?
Kyle Connor, Frozen Hot Shot, and Mitchell Marner.
Oh, Mitch Marner's a popular
Didn't
guy.
you get Mitch Marner last time? Because I remember saying.
Someone
Yeah,
got
someone
him.
said
Someone
Mitchell?
said Mitchell.
Yeah.
And it
I
was,
was
I'm
me.
pretty sure
It
it
was
was him. Okay. Pack luck.
Let's go.
Thomas Hurdle. Gold Seth Jones. Great. And then an Austin Matthews.
Not a lot.
Nice.
Not a lot of. Not a lot
Somebody
of.
got Seth Jones last time too, I think.
Yeah, but
That was
mine's
me.
gold.
I think I got
Shiny.
Austin Matthews.
Mine was basic.
Not a lot of heat. See,
No.
Brady can bring the
I
heat.
actually met
Brandon,
Seth
bring the
Jones. Sorry.
Bring the boo.
So I've got Mr. Chicken Man himself,
Hey.
Marc-Andre Fleury.
Let's go.
Ooh, that is pretty.
Guy loves chicken too.
I love that.
Yeah, I love
I got that one
jerseys.
last week too.
I got Frozen Hot Shots, Austin Matthews.
Ooh.
I don't
Sounds for
even.
a $1.
I don't even know how much that. Like
Alright,
these are
go
probably
with
worth
Casey's.
a cent.
Yeah, probably not.
And I got Jack Eichel.
Oh, I like the Jack Hack.
I do.
Solid.
Jack Eichel one.
And who wants him?
Let's jump in with some Flame stuff.
Flame stuff. I like this team.
I hate that they're not picking a direction again.
I love
I
how
think
you
they're
two
picking a direction. The direction is they're going to keep trying to be good
Yeah,
because they are good.
But why?
They're not though.
So
We're almost a
but they're
top
not
10
good.
team in the league right
But they're not good though.
We're
So
almost a
between-
top 10 team in the league.
between our
Say it one
last
more
show,
time.
yeah, you want to say it one more time? Between our last show, they dropped 4-3 in overtime to the Bruins. They dropped
Tough one.
a 3-2 loss versus the Buffalo Sabres, and they won 3-1 yesterday against the Los Angeles Kings. I do like how Phil said, and I think it was the Bruins game. He just woke up, he was super happy, and then he was super bummed, and he was going back to bed.
Yeah, and then we tied it up, and then I was less bummed. So I got out of bed and kept watching the hockey game.
And then
That was a good game. They held their own with the Bruins. They held their own with the Sabres. We're not really getting blown out anymore. And then the Los Angeles Kings, who have been a strong team this year as well.
Yeah,
even
but
though
if you're winning, should you be holding your own with the Sabres?
Yeah.
we did.
Worth mentioning the Kings are first in the Pacific.
Yeah,
as well.
Kings are first in the Pacific, and we dominated them. Wolf
Yeah.
deserved that shutout real hard. That was don't know if I fully agree with that call. I didn't think that was substantial evidence to overturn the call on the ice. I don't remember who scored that one, but
I'm sure Wolf.
Trevor Moore.
I'm sure Wolf just cares about that he got the win.
Yeah, but I care about the shutout for fantasy, and I think he deserved it. Wolf's looking good. Vladar was looking okay earlier as well. I don't know. Wolf for the Calder.
I don't know, man. Mitch Calder's been looking scary.
I thought he's been benched the last few days.
And then he came back and he had like two, three points last night.
Fair enough.
I
Fair
guess-
enough.
To
And
be
he
fair.
punched Macklin in the face.
That was funny.
Did they fight?
Fought.
No.
Their next game are
Kissed?
against the Canucks, the
Tonight.
Predators, Islanders, the Rangers, and the Wild.
Worth mentioning from that Kings game, the Flames netminder Dustin Wolf found levity in the notion that the Kings spoiler opened the door for a different milestone, per an article by Eric Francis on Sportsnet. His first game-winning assist.
That is true. I forgot about that.
He got an assist on the game-winning goal.
That's pretty.
Wolf?
Oh, that's
Wolf did,
cool.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet. Unfortunately, I also don't get fantasy points for that.
I'm
which is silly.
just saying, there's been how many goalie goals in the past 3 years? 3?
Yeah.
One a year.
Yeah, because it was Omar, Jari, and then Gustafsson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, why not have them as points? They're happening pretty often.
Oh, in fantasy?
Yeah. Or same with assists. Assists happen a lot more often with
That was a great assist.
goalies too. Just a simple shuffle pass and then
A little pass up to Kuzi and Kuzi deep into the Lakers. Not Lakers.
The Lakers.
I was looking at LAK and that spells Lake to me. The LA Kings zone.
Did
That
you
was
watch on the
pretty
goal visualizer?
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was watching.
Maya, if you want to share my screen on that one, I got it going here as well. There we go. All right. So
The
the
Zamboni
puck comes to
tracker.
Wolf. He sends it up to Kuzmenko. Kuzmenko carries it, passes it. Wow, what a pass!
What a
to Huberdeau,
great pass.
and a goal
Into the net. The
for
Lakers net.
for Dustin Wolf's first game-winning assist.
To be
Is that
fair,
his first assist in general?
Probably
think
not.
No? You don't
to
think
be
so?
fair too, also like the Kings are decent now, but they don't even have Drew Doughty.
Mm-hmm.
So
Old.
They haven't had Drew
What
Doughty.
did you say?
They haven't had Drew
He's
Doughty
old.
all season. Didn't he get injured in preseason?
yeah, he
Yeah.
did something bad, but
He broke his ankle.
He did something bad.
something bad happened.
Yeah, he broke his ankle.
Something like that. But the Flames tonight are playing the Vancouver Canucks at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Then they go to Nashville comes to Calgary. Oh wow, they have a big homestand.
Friday.
Big old homestand against tough teams.
That's his first NHL
Except
assist.
for. There you go. I
Nice.
called it. I
Never mind,
said
I'll
so.
shut up. My bad.
Woo-hoo. Go
Called
Dusty.
like the Calder.
Exactly. You guys, he's gonna do it.
It's not all bright spots in Flamesland, though, as Anthony Mantha will be out for the rest of the season after undergoing ACL surgery. I believe this happened during the Montreal game.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I had no idea he was hurt because he played his 500th game or something. What was that big milestone that he just recently hit?
Something like that.
Man,
1000th game? No, that was back.
No, that was backs.
Yeah.
He had a milestone. I know that.
I feel like it was assists.
500.
500 games?
500 games.
Oh, there you go.
So yeah, well, hopefully he comes back next year stronger and healthy. And
He's,
No, he won't be with
he's
the
only
Flames,
signed to
though.
the end of this year.
well, you don't know. He might
It's a
resign.
one-year deal, so I don't know. Maybe if Conroy and company liked what he's done so far this season, they might give him another 1 year, but ideally for less, maybe around that kind of 2.5, 3 area, because 3.5 for him is a bit steep.
I mean, he was the first goal of the season, though.
Yeah,
Flames.
There you
yeah, he
go.
was.
Would not have guessed that.
And with the Anthony Mantha hole, the Flames have recalled Adam Klapka from the Wranglers. Klapka has a point per game in the AHL this season with exactly a point per game. He didn't have anything on Halloween, nor did he have anything on the 5th, but he has 5 points in 3 games since, from 1 game with the Bakersfield Condors and 2 games against the Henderson Silver Knights. I've said for a while now that I'm a big fan of Adam Klapka, and I'm happy to see him come back on the main roster. Hopefully he actually stays for a little bit longer this time. Yeah, as Merrick said, there's the Canucks tonight, and then it's 2 days off before the Preds on Friday. What do we think for this game in Vancouver on the second half of a back-to-back with travel against Vancouver tonight?
That's an L.
Who is Vancouver starting in the goaltending position?
Lankinen.
Goalie, is that confirmed?
Yep.
When does Demko, if at all?
Wasn't he injured?
Yeah, but his injury is basically his knee will never be perfect again. So I'm like, when does he come back? Does he come back?
Depends on his ability to push through pain, as I see that Dan Vladar is also confirmed starter tonight as well, since Wolf started last night.
Makes sense. This is a big game for both the Flames and the Canucks. Obviously, as far as big games go at this point in the season, like you're looking at the Flames, who are now sitting, third in the Pacific, sitting in a playoff spot. Vancouver are in the wild card spot. Could be a four point swing here. So I think, important game.
Just everyone on the Coast to Coast predictions has said Vancouver will win.
I think Vancouver is going to win as well, but I don't think it's going to be as easy as some people might think.
I don't know. Whenever one team's on a back-to-back and the other team is rested, I always go for the rested team. It just seems to make sense. Non-tired athletes tend to be tired athletes.
True, but sometimes it's just backwards.
Unless it's Jets on a back-to-back against the Sharks, then I might just go Jets. Sometimes tired talent is better than rested talent depending on the team, but we mentioned that it was fairly close between the Flames and Canucks at this point, so I think the Canucks take it.
If Calgary wins tonight, can we admit that they're good?
No.
Okay.
Casey.
On Saturday night, because the Canucks got rocked by the Oilers, Kevin Bieksa kind of went in saying, I think they're tired because they just went on the, just 3-game road trip in California, and he's like, it's hard to come back from California, for sure, to rainy Vancouver, where it hasn't stopped raining, I feel like, for this month. So, but he was hoping that Rick would give them the day off. I don't think they did. It looked like they were on the ice on would that have been Sunday? Yeah, he wanted to give them the day off the next day, but it looked like they were on the ice kind of thing, just because, it's just, he's like, I think they're tired.
He's got a strong work ethic, does Rick Tocchet.
Yeah, I think so too, yeah.
Well, also, for American teams, oftentimes the Canadian road trip is one of the hardest for a lot of teams during
And
the
depressing.
Yeah.
My dad thinks that he would say Montreal would never be able to play in Florida. They just get rocked by Florida all the time, just because they're like, it's great down here. Yeah.
It's too hot.
It's like going to Vegas too.
Yeah.
You want to talk
so many
about
distractions.
You want to talk about the Prime broadcast?
Yeah.
As someone who was recently against it.
I was
As someone
very
who was
against it.
hated it.
I was pretty angry, but
Without even looking at it.
I
was angry about. I mean, you guys weren't not on my side.
No,
here.
yeah.
We all agreed
we
that
were-
the accessibility to hockey.
We were fairly
Yes.
antsy for corporate greed and blackouts and all that.
the
hockey
accessibility the accessibility to hockey. We had the whole discussion about how you're not even the fourth most popular league in North America. You're barely the fifth, if that. You can't be this exclusionary. And then they still were. Calgary was the Amazon Prime
Monday
game
night
of the
hockey.
night or the week, whatever it's called, yesterday. I'm lucky enough that my girlfriend has Amazon Prime, so even though I
spit and
was angry, I was like, I'm still going to watch the hockey game because I'm a slave to corporate. But you know what? It was good. It was really, really good. The cameras looked way nicer than Sportsnet cameras. The the analytical podium was in the middle of the concourse.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
saw
like,
that.
that
Pretty
probably
nuts.
sucked for everybody at the Saddle Dome, but it looked really
no,
cool.
because I saw that at wherever the Maple Leafs play.
Scotiabank Arena.
No, because I was like, Saddle Dome? That's not it. But I saw it because they were there on the one Monday Night Hockey, but then the TSN panel was also there,
Okay.
in that concourse at where the Leafs play. So I'm like, oh, is this just a new setting that they have now too? But then also the Sportsnet one on Calgary Flames one, I've walked by that one because my friend was like, are you at the game right now? And she literally saw me walk by. And I was like, oh my god, Sportsnet
awesome.
debut.
But yeah, I'm just thinking I mean, a bit of a tangent, not exactly the specific thing I wanted to focus on, but
No worries.
knowing that concourse and being on that concourse during a Flames game or even the Bedard game for the Hitmen, I can't imagine adding a whole wall, like taped off area with cameras and a crew.
What
like,
a massive bottleneck.
Yes.
The
yeah.
whole arena is a massive bottleneck.
Yeah.
Like, and then add more bottleneck. Like, I didn't think you could get more bottlenecky than that, but
In a
I mean,
saddle?
it was cool. Yeah, and then the one thing, and I know you're gonna appreciate this too. How many gambling ads were there last night?
I didn't watch the stream.
There
Or the
was
podcast,
next to none. There were some mentions by the color commentators of like lines and that kind of stuff, which is fine. But like actual programmed ads, none that I can remember. Which I love that.
I guess you could also chalk it down as the like Amazon isn't sponsored by gambling ads, where the NHL,
Yeah,
like,
I
part
was
of the
gonna-
NHL is.
Yeah, but I liked it.
True. Fair.
Also, the little score bug, I sent it to the group chat last night. I really liked the score bug. I liked how it changed colors during the power play. I liked how the Amazon Prime logo changed during the power play. I thought it was really cool.
I didn't understand the power play one until like 2/3 of the way through the game. I'm like, wait, this is how it works. Because me and my sister were both watching it. We're like, what does it mean when they're darker? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I thought they were just on the power play, but like they aren't on the power play. But I think they actually were, and it was just a little bit confusing. But it's so weird that you have to like learn how the scores are
score
like
bug
done
works,
with like
yeah.
power plays and stuff. But
I don't know, but you know what? I mean, if I had to pay to get Amazon Prime to get it, I'd be upset, but I just bummed off my girlfriend, so it was fine.
yes, yeah.
It was all good. I enjoyed it.
And
It
it
was
does
well
even say on Sportsnet now, it will say you'll go down. Because obviously, I guess they probably promote the Flames one first because I'm in Calgary. They say Flames is on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
They will say that. A lot of times they don't say like
Yeah,
where
they-
it actually is and what's happening. And I'll just be like, I can't find this game for some reason.
It was like a
but-
TSN regional
Yeah.
game for whatever
Yeah.
reason.
They really do heavily because I'm in the NHL like Instagram broadcast thing, and every Amazon Prime game that there is, every team is mentioned. Be like the King, like last night, the Kings and the Flames are Amazon Prime. The week before, whatever game, literally every single game is they make sure that there's an announcement out.
Also, as someone who I know loves pregame, the entire pregame warm-up was live streamed on Amazon Prime
Yes, I
with
did.
those cameras, the nice cameras, different camera angles, no commentator, full arena sound.
That's cool.
I liked that as well.
Ambiance.
There was actually in the Capitals Penguins game they do. It's a sponsored segment, but they did a where it was just ice, and that's all you were hearing. And then ironically, there was a really like highlight reel save, and the announcer had to cut in a little bit because he's like, "Whoa, that was a good save." But it was kind of cool because they're like in the middle of the game. It's just okay, now we're done.
Yeah.
They go and we're stopped.
That's cool.
So I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah. So maybe you changed my mind a little bit, Amazon Prime. Good job. It's hard to do.
If that's in a Flames talk, let's move up the QE2. Unless you want to add
I
something.
did have one thing. This is news from about a week ago, but unfortunately, Gabriel Landeskog had a setback to. Did we not talk about this already?
No. I was trying to get off the Flames topic, so I thought, okay, go with the Landeskog
He meant if
thing.
you had something
Go
more
with
to
the
talk
Landeskog
about
thing.
about Flames.
Oh, I was saying before you went to McDavid. That's my.
Oh,
That's
okay. No, go with the Landeskog thing.
So Landeskog had a setback in his injury, which is very bad because he's not played since Game 6 of the 2022 final. Quote from Bednar, the Avalanche coach, said, "It's probably fair to call Landeskog's situation a setback, but it should not come as a surprise, part of the on-again, off-again recovery process. He's still in constant communication, and he is still hopeful." So it does look like they still are kind of hoping and expecting him, like a weird combination of that, to play this season. But it did sound like the coach did not sound very happy about this.
Do you think he just like watched a couple of the games from earlier in the season and was like, nah, I don't feel like coming back for a while.
My team's already injured, and
I don't need to be a part of this.
No. I feel like, obviously, for those who watched, ironically, the Amazon Prime documentary, I don't think it just kind of sucks. Just seeing how bad he wants to be back on the ice, and just seeing how much it means to him and his family for him to get back on the ice. I think if majority of hockey fans are rooting for him to get back on the ice, so hopefully this isn't something that forces him into retirement.
True. Word.
Here we go up the QE2. So, per an article by Derek Van Diest of the NHL.com, he makes a point of, he wrote an article about McDavid closing in on the 1,000-point benchmark and him becoming the fourth fastest player to do so, just coming in behind Wayne Gretzky, who did 1,000 points in 424 games. Lunatic. Mario Lemieux, who did it in 513, and Mike Bossy did it in 656. So he's 5 away as he goes into the game tomorrow, if I have the schedule.
There's a game tonight.
And it'll be tonight, my apologies, against the Islanders.
He needs 5 points?
He needs 5 points.
5 points in 15 games. I think if he doesn't do that, that is insane.
Well, that isn't precisely where I was going. Where I was going with this is, when does he get it? He needs 5 points. He's facing the Islanders tonight, the Preds on Thursday, and the Leafs on Saturday.
I think
Does he get it? Does he get it at the Leafs game or before?
so. 5 does it, right? It doesn't need 6 to do it.
5 gets to 1,000.
And he has 15 games to do it?
I mean, where are you putting the 15 games?
I don't know, that's
from?
what Phil said.
No.
Yeah.
What?
According to this article from Caleb Kearney.
To tie Peter's stats, yes.
Yeah.
If he gets in, if he waits 15 games.
He's got 15 games to be the 4th.
Yes.
Okay. And
Sorry,
he's 15 games to get 5 points.
my sincere
Yeah.
apologies.
If it's not by Toronto, it's against Montreal.
But the thing is, like, there's some. That's what McDavid does. There's some games you can just drop 5 just randomly. There's also, but then he also has some stints where he doesn't. So
He dropped 3 on Vancouver last game.
yeah.
That's what I mean. He's so talented that it's going to take him less than 5 games to get 5 points. It's going to be by Toronto, and if not, it's Montreal.
I'm going odd. I think he doesn't get it till Minnesota.
I hope he does it. at
Wow.
home.
Okay.
I think tonight he
That's
might get
6
1
games.
one or 2. I think the Predators are going to give him some trouble because for some reason the Predators,
Are turning around a little bit.
not really, but they go off and on. When they play a good team, they play good, but when they play a bad team, they don't play good. The Leafs
have I
are
heard
just
that?
a stronger team this year. Canadians, I don't think they're going to allow him to get a bunch of points. They do focus heavily on that, and
You don't think he's going to be against the Senators?
no. Brady Tkachuk's going to make sure that doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, that's a
He's
good
going to be
point.
in his pocket all
That's,
game.
that's a
that's
good
why
point.
also with the Canadians, Mike Matheson is a very fast defenseman whose primarily focus is going to be stopping McDavid.
So
Not,
you're
not an
go-
easy feat.
You're
You
going
get
to say he gets
point-
1,000 points against
The Minnesota Wild.
either a good team in the Minnesota Wild or a good team in the New York Rangers.
Yes.
It's going to happen before that.
Well, if it does, like,
I think Toronto.
I have him in my fantasy league, and he has done for me recently. So
Aside from
Being
3
injured.
points the
Drop
other
3
day.
points against
he was on my
less than a week ago.
in my Yahoo league. I can't change week by day. I have to change it on Monday, and then I don't get to change it till next Monday.
dumb.
So he was on
Weird.
my bench, and
Why do you
silly.
Okay, whatever.
well, he's on my
That's
bench
so dumb.
because he
That's
was
a
out.
separate problem.
It's trust me. It's
that's
the
why you
most,
don't use Yahoo.
Well,
Who are you?
I'm in 3 fantasy leagues.
Who's the commissioner of your league?
My
If it's you.
friend's brother.
Okay, no.
It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. Like
your brother's dumb.
I can't even put Braden. Braden
Brother,
my
it's
sorry,
his
sorry,
friend.
Sorry, no,
friend's
sorry, your
brother.
friend's brother's dumb. I don't know about your brother. Is your brother dumb?
The thing is, like,
Show title. Is your brother dumb?
I'm gonna show this.
No, or
I'm
your
showing this to
brother
my
is
brother.
dumb.
I'm sorry.
If it does go as far as the Wild, it's going to be to the point where all he needs is one.
One
Like,
assist.
He's
Like
going to
an
be one
empty
away.
netter.
No, you know what's gonna be? He's gonna get the last point on a secondary assist. He's not gonna get a It's not gonna be a flashy goal. It's not gonna be an empty net. It's not gonna be like
It's
a
going to be
pass
the
straight to
flukiest
Draisaitl.
thing you've ever seen.
It's
in
gonna
your
be like
life.
a pass up the boards to Darnell Nurse who shoots it or something like that, and it's tipped on net.
I think it'll be Toronto on Saturday. I think the Leafs are gonna just lie down that game. Not on purpose. I just think that's the game where they're not gonna come out at all. And McDavid's gonna hang 5 on them. Regardless if he gets points against the Islanders or Preds,
Even
I think
with
he's
Stolarz?
gonna get what's that?
Even with how good Stolarz has been playing.
They might start Wool.
Yeah, fair.
And
You know
Wolf
what funny?
and
You know what funny? He
Spotty.
just goes pointless in 15. He just doesn't get a point in 15 games.
That would be
Just
hilarious.
some random thing, just no points. That sucked for my fantasy, but I think it'd be pretty funny.
I think it would be cool if he did it on the 14th against Nashville. I think he deserves to do it at home. I think there's absolutely the possibility he does it at home. Like give him 2 against the Islanders, and then he drops 3 against Nashville.
Watch him just drop
So
5
the reason
today. This whole conversation's
I kind of perked up point on my laptop. He's from Ontario. Is
Oh, yeah.
McDavid. So that's
That's
why
true.
that's why I also think Toronto is because
Fair enough.
Home.
I mean,
Toronto.
Yeah, they're
It's-
in
Yeah, but you want the home
That's why I
fans
kind
to
of freaked out when you
celebrate.
said home. I was like, but Toronto.
I meant home
Oh
team.
yeah, no, I pieced that
Because then you
together.
get the home fans to celebrate for you, versus in Toronto you get the suits just probably still drinking their $70 old fashions
that
and
building.
not caring
That
about
building.
the
Would,
hockey game.
That building would fall apart if he got 1,000 points at home.
Especially if he did it tonight
I think Montreal.
against the New York Islanders.
If he drops
Imagine.
5 in a game
Five
tonight to
tonight?
get it,
Oh,
there you go.
I
That
know
would be
someone else who
nuts.
did that yesterday. So
That's true.
You okay, buddy? We're not gonna go to it.
All
I
know
think
is-
it's gonna happen
All I
versus
know is the
Nashville
Dallas
also.
Stars scored more points than the Dallas Cowboys, which
Okay,
is quite funny.
That is hilarious.
Leafs.
Nashville.
Wild.
Nashville.
Leafs.
Okay.
Good predictions.
Can't wait till we're all wrong. He just doesn't score 15 games or something.
He's
no,
gonna
he's
do
gonna-
it tonight against the Islanders.
Yeah, now that none of us said
5 in-
tonight, he's gonna get.
It's 5
like,
in the
he's
first quarter tonight. He'll have a hat trick by 10 minutes in.
Oh yeah, he's gonna score 5 goals tonight. And Save on Foods is gonna have to give away $1 million.
Yeah.
Is that how it works in that one?
Yes. Yeah.
Staying in conference but not in division, we have to talk about the New York Jets.
The New York
Oh my
Jets.
God.
I thought we didn't want to talk
Well,
about that.
so
Aaron
the
Rodgers
Winnipeg
is-
Jets.
Aaron Rodgers is pretty washed nowadays.
My bad.
Devontae
Winnipeg
Adams
Jets.
isn't doing as well.
Hey, at least it's not Dak
The
Prescott.
Jets, Jets.
Only having
Jets.
lost one game in the first 15 games, setting a new NHL record, have the Winnipeg Jets.
First time
Who did they
ever.
lose to? Does anyone know?
Toronto.
Okay, well, I thought that'd be more of a fun
course.
We've
prediction.
said that.
What?
We brought that up before.
I'm getting a tattoo based off of
Uh,
it. Kidding.
They've claimed a
81 and
goalie-
1. We were the one.
They've claimed a goalie off waivers in Capo Kakinen,
Oh. I always loved his name.
and straight away loaned him to the Manitoba
Manitoba
Moose in the
Moose.
AHL.
That's an AHL type of move. The AHL general manager's like, can you pick him up, please?
Yeah.
Which
I think they're just
sound
adding
like?
goalie depth. Eric Comrie's been solid as a backup, and obviously Hellebuck has been one of the best goalies in the NHL. It's still crazy to think that one of the best goalies in the NHL is on a very terrible team.
What?
Also,
Lucas
mean-
Dostal in the Ducks.
still, yeah.
I think this year so far he is the best.
Is he?
Yes.
Or is it
Rather
actually-
than
You
one
still
of
have
the
11
best.
to 1. You can't really.
15 games in, I mean, if you lose one game, like
They-
you have to look at your goal and be like, hey, you're doing something right.
They've
Yeah.
come
True.
close to faltering though. They beat Colorado 1-0 this past Thursday.
Yeah, Gorgiev played well.
Oh my
When was
goodness.
the last time we said that?
2019.
Hey, well, he won a cup.
I'm kidding. It's hyperbole.
He is the best goalie in the NHL. He has a 1.83 goals against. Wow. He has a 935 save percentage. Wow. And 3 shutouts.
We're talking about Dostal or Hellbuck?
Hellebuck. If I was
We're talking
naming,
about Gorgiev.
if I was naming
I would-
Dostal and he,
I know Dostal's been unreal, which is why I have to ask.
I think he's gone.
He has a
trade
higher
deadline.
save percentage than Winnipeg has a point percentage.
Similar to the Connor
That's
McDavid
crazy.
game,
That is wild.
when does Winnipeg get their second regulation loss?
Ooh.
Let me find.
Let's look at this schedule.
Let me see. They have a hard
My
schedule
going to
coming
flip
up.
to my computer now.
I
It
know
is a
they-
tough schedule.
I know we discussed last year that they have a very hard schedule.
Rangers tonight, Tampa Bay
Florida.
coming up, Florida.
Florida.
It's
You're
got to
going-
be one of those 2 Florida games, I think.
It's the first one.
It's obviously.
I
gonna
would say the second
Yeah,
one.
in Florida. Yeah.
They literally go from like so hard, then they play like the Penguins and the Predators, and they go back
think
to
the
being like really hard teams.
I think the first one's going to be like a 1-goal loss, and then the second game to Florida, Jets are just going to dominate them.
Yeah, they're gonna lose like 3-2 in overtime to Florida,
And then they'll win
and then
like 4-1.
7-2.
The scheduling's so weird. They play 4 really hard games, 2 easy games, and then another 4 hard games.
That's true.
Okay, so I don't think it's gonna. I don't think they're gonna get past Florida with still 1 regulation loss. I just don't know what team they're gonna regulation lose to.
I have a bold take.
Like the state of Florida.
Bold take. I think it's Tampa Bay. I think they
See-
drop it to Tampa Bay. Kucherov, Gensel. I think Point will be back. Vasilevsky's been playing out of his mind recently.
Vasilevsky has
I was gonna say Stamkos, but awkward.
Super awkward.
Yeah, well, at least
I'm
his
gonna-
former team's doing
They're
good.
playing him later.
I'm gonna say Tampa.
You say
I'm
Tampa?
gonna say Tampa.
First Florida game.
I'm with Braden on this one. I think it's going to be a very, very close and very, very heartbreaking loss for the city of Winnipeg. Probably in shootouts, honestly.
Well, no,
just to
they'll
make
be-
it a little bit
That
more
won't be- well,
heartbreaking.
They'll win the
Regulation
game
loss.
at
Oh,
home.
regulation
Yeah, going
loss.
back to
Yes.
the-
They'll win the
President's
game at
regulation.
home, which is
Sorry.
the second one, but I think they're losing in Florida.
I thought you meant loss in
No,
general.
no,
Casey
regulation.
did have a good point. I think she put this in the group chat that when Paul Maurice won the cup, he said like the next team I want to win is the Winnipeg Jets.
That's true.
And the
Yeah.
Winnipeg Jets are now 14-1 since he said that. So
Crazy. Love it.
Your guess?
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Your guess.
The second Florida game
Second,
So the
second
one at home.
Florida
So the
game.
one at home then. Okay.
after
I
they went
think
to
it's the
Florida.
home. I think it's the away.
So they're going to be
Florida game.
17-1.
You guys are
17-2
They're gonna be-
after that second
And
Florida
then they
game.
play.
according to Ga-
And then
That'd
they
be
get
nuts.
And then they're gonna get 2
Am I
free
right on
wins
that
against
math?
the Predators and the Penguins.
Yeah, so
Sorry, maybe
being 17
one
and
free
2
win
would
against
be
the Penguins,
still
maybe not
crazy.
the Predators.
I'm.
Winnipeg's pretty good.
But but I'm just saying this. Not saying they go 14-1 every season, but they are a very dominant team in the first half of the season, and then oftentimes kind of fall off in the second half. There was, I think, last year it happened a bit. They still made playoffs. The year before, I think they were first in their division, and then they ended up not making playoffs.
So
What has to happen for Winnipeg to not make playoffs right now?
An injury.
the best start through
Okay.
30 games in the NHL history is 52 points by the Sharks in 08-09.
Oh my god.
Do you think Winnipeg beats that?
How many points?
52.
52. They are on
How many games is that?
28. So because they're at 15, it's
Yeah.
through 30 games. So 52 and 28 is what?
That would be pretty impressive.
So they'd have to get 27 points in their next 15 games.
If they
Do they go 14? Do they get like 13 wins through their next 15 games? And if they do, they're the best. They're the best team through 30 games in NHL history.
I don't think they get 13 wins in the next 15 games.
I think it'd
especially
be
with this
absolute.
schedule.
I think it'd be wild if they did. I think it'd be really fun if they did. I don't know if they will.
I don't think you can.
Or not necessarily the wins, but do you think they're going to hit 50? Do you think they're going to get 26 or 27 points in their next 15 games?
I think that I think they're going to be the President Trophy winners. I think they will be the best team in the league.
Didn't
I'm
you
talking
just
for the
say
next.
that they were going
I'm talking for the next 15
I'm
games.
saying it has happened in the past.
I'm talking for the next 15 games. I'm not talking for the President's Trophy.
I don't know because it's
It's like
weird.
1,
'cause
2,
they-
3, 4.
Looking
It's
at
called a
these,
prediction.
looking at these games again, they play 4 hard games. Then the Penguins and the Predators are necessarily.
Merrick, you're
super
thinking
easy.
too hard. Are they going to do it or are they not?
They're
gonna
not gonna do it.
Okay.
They're gonna do
There
it.
you go.
Okay, so 15 games. Where's that? 15 games from now, right?
Yeah.
What did Boston do at the
They're gonna do
beginning
it.
of last season? What was their thing?
That was 2 seasons. Like their miracle run. or
Yeah,
something?
what was that? I just don't even remember what it
This
was.
could be also
Why
like
was it
horribly
cool?
incorrect as well.
Because
but
there was like the most.
it's from the Guinness Book of World Records, so I'm
Oh, there you
assuming
go.
And it was
it's
to
Sorry, what was
start
it?
the season, right?
the best start through 30 games in NHL history.
the San Jose. But then in my head, why
Sharks.
didn't?
the 2022-2023 Bruins were 65-12-5.
But then
Yeah, but
what
that's
was
through
their?
the whole season.
That's through the whole
Yes,
season.
I know.
was
We're
there,
talking
was
Casey
it their
Casey
beginning of
referred
the
to.
season thing that was big, and they didn't lose or something? What did they do? What was that thing that they did?
Wasn't it a home? I thought it was at home. Like they didn't lose.
They won their first 3, then lost. Then
Okay, then that's not-
3, 4, 5,
What?
6, 7 wins in a row. Another loss. Then
Okay,
one.
that's not right
Yeah,
then.
so-
So
They
you're
would
not
win,
looking
They
at the
would
right
win.
thing.
They would lose one game and then win a bunch.
So for the 15 games, like Braden was talking about, that puts us December 18th for Winnipeg, give or take 1, depending on my counting skills.
Christmas?
It's a pretty balanced schedule, I would say, except for like the next week. So I think it all comes down to this coming week. If they go through this week, like going 3-1, like only losing the one game that each of us had said,
Yeah.
I think it's fair because then you're going against like the Sabres, the Blackhawks, Blue Jackets, Montreal, Sharks, and Ducks are 6 of those games.
Never
Watch them
underestimate the San Jose Sharks.
Dude,
That's a good point.
I mean,
That would be
you'd
crazy.
Be surprised. Like San Jose Sharks.
Imagine
beat
they're
the
on it
Rangers.
and San Jose is the team that beats them.
That would be nuts.
No, out of
Yeah,
the
they
6
just pipe up because they're like, we got to protect our record.
yeah.
out of the 6 teams you just named, they lose all. Like they win all teams, like all the best playoff teams, and they lose all like the bottom 10 teams in the NHL.
They actually don't lose until that December 17th game against the Sharks.
That would be unbelievable.
Worth mentioning.
28-2.
Among the teams with the best NHL starts through 30 games, tied for 5th is the 2013 Chicago Blackhawks, who went on to win the Cup. That, however, also includes the 2023 Bruins, who were swept in the first round.
Swept.
That's what I was talking about. I'm like, the Bruins did something at the beginning of their season, but what was
And the
it?
Flames.
I don't think they were swept in the first round.
They
Sorry, they were reverse swept, weren't they? Didn't they win the first 3 and then they kind of fell apart?
Some of
That
them.
would have been last year. So then they got reverse swept against the Panthers.
But what was their start? Does it say on there?
The Bruins, they
Yeah.
were 24-4-2 in the first 30.
What? Oh yeah.
So in
Okay,
in
okay.
the series that you were referring to, what the?
Well,
what am I
was
looking
Calgary
this
Flames are there.
just the
Calgary
spring?
Flames
89.
mentioned.
Yeah.
That's what he's looking at.
They won the cup that year too.
So I can understand excitement in Winnipeg over, hey, we've had the hottest start
Ever.
period.
But you can understand excitement. That is something very fair to be very excited about.
However, it is worth noting that when playoff time comes around, they might tire themselves out.
Yeah,
Dude,
no,
the
no,
Flames did that. We've been jumping off the walls,
Yeah.
I know.
No, no. To add to his point, that is,
It does matter.
and this does happen to Winnipeg often. Like the past 3 years, they are very hot out the gate. I'm not saying they're this hot for this team's obviously breaking records, but this has happened to the Jets a lot. They're very good at the start of the season, and they slowly fall off.
Dude. Heck, the Sharks in 09, the one that we were talking about earlier, lost in the first round as well.
To who?
I don't know.
No, we're not going
In
back that
09,
far.
that was like
09.
20 years
The
ago.
Ducks.
It was a long
They lost in
time.
6 to the Ducks.
Oh,
I was in
Nice.
primary. Or I
was
was
still
in
in
first grade. I don't know.
that was a quick brought up. Nice job.
All
It's
right.
hyperlinked there.
Oh, okay.
I would love credit, but
I would love credit.
I can't.
How old were you guys in 2009?
9 or 10.
Depends on.
Depending on
Depends if it
the
was
time of year.
Yeah.
January
Me as
1st,
well.
2009.
I would be 9.
I would be 10. Wait, what? You're 2000?
I'd be
You'd be 10.
no. I would have turned 10 that June because I end the year 1 up on the actual year.
So how old would
Yeah,
you
me
be,
too.
Casey?
So we'd be
2009?
both 10.
January.
So 9, 10.
I would have been
I don't know.
15, about to turn. I was gonna say about to turn 14. I would have been 14, about to turn 15.
Braden?
I
was
think.
5, about to turn 6.
I would have been about the same.
Oh no, you're right.
Wait, are you
No,
both-
my
yeah.
birthday's
Never mind,
February.
we're both-
My birthday's
we're both
February
We don't
28th.
know. 2009.
2003?
3. So
Okay,
it's like so technically it's like
Yeah,
I'm basically
so I
My
would've
6.
little
Yeah,
brother
that
is
would've been
older than you,
425.
Braden.
Yeah.
Oof.
So we would have had a 9-year-old.
No, we would have both been 9.
both
I was
would've
Okay, so
silly.
been-
9. You would have been 5.
I would have been all I
I would have been
been
4, and Casey would have been.
14.
There you go. That was productive.
moving on.
And we're all like,
No, yeah.
what would I just literally
Moving on.
did.
No,
I
yeah, I
did
would've been
2009 minus
Yeah, me too.
1994.
Yeah.
So I was like,
No way.
what?
Sorry. I'm silly. I was thinking at the end
Guide
of
the ship.
2009.
No, yeah, because he's at Jan 2009.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the Hockey Hall of Fame. And aside from hearing his name in about 5 seconds here, you're not going to hear me say the name. Let me pull it up here. Colin Campbell.
Who?
He was one of the many people inducted into the Hall of Fame this past weekend, alongside Jeremy Roenick, Pavel Datsyuk. I don't have the class in front of me. It's just off the top of my head.
Shea Weber.
Jay Weber as well.
Shea.
There was a. Oh, what's her name?
There's 2 women players.
One of them is a scout
Chloe
for Pittsburgh.
Primerano.
Natalie Darwitz.
Future.
Yes.
Natalie Darwitz, that's
Give
one.
it 20 years and then
20.
Chloe
Give her
Perot.
10 years and she'll be in the Hall of Fame.
the NHL.
Chrissy Wendell as well.
It's well.
Oh, Wendell, sorry. My bad.
Yeah, that's the.
Chrissy Wendell, Jeremy Roenick, Shea Weber, David Poyle, Pavel Datsyuk, Natalie Darwitz, and sadly, in the builder category, Colin Campbell.
Who? I still don't
Who's
know.
the best
His
player?
his
out
name
of
is spelled Colin, but it's Colin.
Who is the best
Like
player that has
Semicolon?
been, in your guys' opinion, who's been the best player that was inducted this
From
season?
that round?
Yeah. We'll start with Braden.
Probably Shea Weber.
Probably Shea Weber.
Datsuk, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I was gonna say Datsuk.
Datsuk with a
Le Magic,
Cup.
the Met
Or-
2.
Oh,
Two.
yeah.
2002 and 2008.
That's true. That's true.
Is he still playing? Oh no, he's well. No, he's not playing the NHL. But is he still like? Is it like Yager just playing the K?
I think he's done.
Well, he had a good career of absolutely destroying goaltenders and shootouts.
Some would say a Hall of Fame worthy career.
Oh, yeah, that's kind of funny.
That
He
is
made the Hall of Fame.
that is true. If
What was that?
I don't know.
if you do want to do some research on Colin Campbell, please don't. It's not worth your time because he's not worth your time.
What?
Okay, what? Okay.
What?
Why are you so upset with
Yeah,
him?
what?
So-
Who
What did
is this guy?
What's the backstory?
So
Kick your dog or
the
something.
Canadian-
multiple people have called this guy a bad guy.
He's a coach.
Are you
And-
one of those
and
people?
and if you're involved in hockey, that's one of the worst things you can say about someone.
Wait, is he a coach?
Let me
He's a
ask.
bad guy?
No, he was in charge of player discipline for a bit. He also, I think it was during a lawsuit in 2009 area, early 2000s, I think. A series of emails that was sent by Colin Campbell, called Marks of Art a fake artist. And it was believed that he held personal biases towards some players rather than others. He would talk to officials a bunch to try and lessen calls against them. What?
Dude, I just pulled up his stats. Holy cow. He's played 636 NHL games, 25 goals, 103 assists, 128 points, 1,292 penalty minutes.
What a guy.
Whoa.
He was drafted.
Does not seem like a good
He was
guy.
drafted in round 2, 27th overall to the Pittsburgh Penguins in the 1973
Okay, well,
draft. He played for the
They
Penguins.
sure know how to pick them.
They played for the Penguins.
back then it's like
That's a bit
they're,
different,
they're
yeah.
just fighting.
Played for the Penguins, the Oilers for a season, Canucks, and ended it with Vancouver. And he coached, or no, he ended it with Detroit, sorry. Coached Detroit a lot. He was assistant coach. He was a head coach for the big Hamilton Rangers, and then was
Binghamton.
and then he was an assistant coach for the Rangers, and then was a head coach until he was fired or replaced mid-season. Yeah, fired mid-season.
Tough.
Man, what
Bummer,
can you
bro.
do? After he lost then he went to the playoffs 3 straight years, and then he got fired. So not. According to Alex, not a good guy.
I do find that hockey does reward not great people a lot
Yeah,
of
this
the
is true.
time. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's just hockey culture.
Worth mentioning. It isn't called the Hockey Hall of
Goodness.
Good Samaritans.
Yeah.
They base it.
That's the Willie O'Ree Award.
That is a really
They
reward,
base
but-
it primarily just on hockey. Anything.
And according to Gary Bettman, who was ultimately part of this decision, he decided to induct Mr. Campbell into the Hall of Fame, and I hate that with a strong passion.
Do you know Gary Bettman's in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
How?
That's a great question.
Colin Campbell
I
also
would-
part of that selection committee as well.
Did he
It was
put
very
himself
much-
in there?
he was elected in 2018.
He didn't put himself in there, but
I was gonna I thought it was
Seems
gonna be a
like he put
stupid
himself
question.
in
I thought it was gonna be a really stupid question with me going, "Hey, is he in the Hockey Hall of Fame?" I didn't think he was.
Also, why did they do the?
And he's never played at hockey in the NHL.
Why did they do the Hockey Hall of Fame induction ceremony? A, on Remembrance Day, weird day to do it. B, when there's a bunch of other hockey games on at the same time. Don't you want people to watch that and not watch hockey games? Why wouldn't you do it
During
during
awards.
the NHL awards?
That's
or
what
something?
I
Get
thought
it
too,
around the
right?
same realm.
Yeah.
Not that anyone watches those either, but it's just. And also, Remembrance Day seems like a weird day to do it.
Again, another stupid question, but was it Remembrance Day yesterday in the States as well?
Yeah, it's Veterans.
Yeah, they call it veterans.
Okay, so yeah, that is a bit weird.
Odd choices. They did do a good thing. Lanny, our favorite Lanny McDonald, he had a wonderful tribute to the Goodrow brothers as well, which was
Good for them.
very nice.
That quote is so memorable to me. The take it easy on them.
Take
up
it.
That
Yeah,
was-
that was nice. But yeah, good old Lanny,
there. Mr. McDonald.
Mr. McDonald.
it's also worth mentioning per an article by
By who, Alex? By who? Alex?
Michael Liu on Canucks Army. Do you guys remember in 2016 when John Scott made the All-Star game?
I love that. Yes, that was so.
Was he the guy that was
was-
very against him making the All-Star game?
He called John Scott. Colin Campbell called John Scott to try and shame him out of
What?
going.
Yeah.
Dude, he won the All-Star award that year. That was-
Because of that stuff, I think. That's
That was-
why he won it. Is because
No,
I mean,
Yeah.
he also actually scored,
yeah,
Yeah, but
which
he was all-
I
but,
never
like,
would expect him to
if
do.
you look at the players and then be like, it'd be like Patrick Kane, McDavid, Crosby, Malkin, John Scott. I don't even think Malkin was in the 2016 one, but he was a bit out of
I don't know
character.
what
It
we're
would.
talking about.
In this article, Steve Downey, the tweet by Steve Downey, it says Colin Campbell asked John Scott if his kids were going to be embarrassed that he's going to the All-Star game.
What?
That's a really stupid question.
Hey, my dad's
That's-
gonna be an NHL All-Star.
Yeah, right?
I'm so
I'm
embarrassed.
so embarrassed.
yeah.
And he won the MVP award for that.
That is the guy who was just inducted to the Hall of Fame. And I know we just said it that it's not the Hockey Hall of Good Guys. I get it, but
I don't know what just came out of your mouth.
it's
Yeah,
not,
but
it's not the
they're-
Hockey Hall of Good Guys. But
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just hockey culture in
yeah.
itself, I feel.
I mean, I think it follows that in all sports. Like, I'll ask our
That's not true.
football expert here. Is Ray Lewis in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Is Michael Vick in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because A, they don't look at that and be like,
Exactly. So it follows the same rules in the NHL.
it's like, are they some of the greatest players of all time? Yes. In their positions, yes, 100%. They're like anybody that you ask, they will put Ray Lewis at middle linebacker for their all-time team. If you ask anybody, they're not going to put Michael Vick there because there's been so many good
Yeah.
quarterbacks, but there's a lot of Atlanta fans that would.
Well, Michael Vick's like the revolutionizing the like running and scrambling as a quarterback.
Yeah.
So
it's like, are they the best people in the world? No, probably not. However, they're phenomenal football players. They deserve to be in the Hall of Fame for how good they were on the field.
So modeling it after the NHL would be relatively the same.
Yeah. Like, they're not going to look and be like, were you a stand-up Samaritan donating at a soup kitchen every weekend? No.
Yeah.
But did you score this many goals and you were insane? Yeah, you're in the Hall of Fame.
But I think that's crazy because you are supposed to be looking up to these Hall of Famers as role models.
Yeah.
So I think that's crazy.
Like,
But
yeah.
And before we jump off of the Hall of Fame talk as well, Joe McGinley, Eddie Olczyk will join the selection committee in 2025, and Ron Francis will place Mike Gartner as chair of the selection committee in 2025 as well.
Who's Ron Francis again?
GM of the Kraken currently.
Oh.
And it's a
Oh,
first,
he's a Penguins guy apparently.
yes, he also
That's right, I
is
knew the
like
name.
one of the all-time points leaders ever.
I mean, I knew that.
Also, before we jump off
Oh
as well, some notable first-year eligible players are Joe Thornton, Duncan Keith, Carey Price, Zdeno Chara, Ryan Getzlaf, Tuukka Rask, Dustin Brown, and Eric Stahl, all part of the first-year eligible players for 2025.
I think it's pretty obvious. I can guarantee one of those players are going to. I think Price. If Price doesn't get inducted,
Price is good.
I think Chara walks in there,
Chara
too.
and Price are going to walk
Chara,
in
Price.
there.
What were the other ones?
Joe Thornton, Duncan
Yep.
Keith,
Maybe.
Ryan Getzlaf,
No.
Tuukka Rask,
Maybe.
Dustin Brown,
Don't think Getzlaf?
Not this year.
and
I
Eric
think
Stahl.
out of the first years, Price and Chara are getting in first year.
Oh, 100%. Like Price is the number one goalie.
And real quick before we jump into the
Does he
Dub
want-
and Q corner,
Does he want to play in the Four Nations?
the full Four Nations rosters will be revealed on December 4th. That was reported by Kayla Douglas by the Score 3 days ago.
Does Carey Price want to come out of retirement and play for Team Canada?
No.
He probably could.
Yeah. Well, I think
He'd make the team.
Dude, you know how bad it is when when we are considering a 40-year-old Marc-Andre Fleury to be the starting goalie? That's not a good sign.
Yeah, the goalie talent isn't great right now.
Did you see? I remember you mentioned in the group chat when there was Jets versus Dallas, and the Jets fans have this season been very good at chanting.
That was so
and they were
funny.
chanting what, backup?
U.S. back.
U.S.
US
backup.
backup.
Because
Signaling.
Jake will be the U.S. Well, we're assuming Jake will be the U.S. back up to Connor Hellebuyck.
Well, I would sure
But then
hope so.
the commentators were like, did Pete DeBoer think they're saying use backup? Because then we
I don't
put
know.
Casey DeSmith in.
Well, no, if they're saying like U.S. backup, like it's pretty clear. It's
Yeah, yeah.
And then earlier in the year they did the "Where's Rutger" thing. So I don't know. Winnipeg Jets have been on savage watch recently.
It'll be interesting to see who Canada picks for their goalies.
I mean,
'cause I
when you
feel
look
like
yeah.
there's probably 6 guys in contention, and none of them are phenomenal.
No,
That's true.
I think statistically, right now the best.
I think
one
I'm
would
up
be
there.
Him.
I think I can.
I
make
think
the team.
no, Alex has to be.
No, you're
Oh,
Zach,
Alex is already on
You're
the
Zach
team.
Hyman. You're me in the wing.
It's true.
All right.
And also,
There's our Canadian starting goalie right there.
the Toronto Raptors, Natalie Spooner. I hear their logo would be good for a basketball logo.
It would be, I
Because
think.
because the scepter could be a ball.
I do think if
Uh,
you made the scepter a ball, it would be a good basketball logo.
Worth mentioning that Natalie Spooner will miss the start of the PWHL season as
Oh.
she's still recovering from her ACL surgery from when she injured her left knee in Game 3 of Toronto's playoff run this past May. She'll come from the surgery from that repair.
Mr. Furco.
Also worth
Here's his
mentioning
question.
that when the PWHL season does kick off, I'll be doing weekly recaps in this here studio.
When does it kick off?
Yeah,
The
when does-
30th.
Oh,
That is very quick for like full ACL surgery, or was it half?
I don't know off the top of my head. This article doesn't mention it. This article also written by Christina Rutherford on Sportsnet.
Because if we're
Casey.
talking, if
It's just about their jerseys because I also pointed out that they're similar to like Taylor Swift's music video and Shake It Off when she has a cheerleader outfit on. But Taylor Swift is going to Toronto and they just made Taylor Swift like a jersey for her, which Taylor probably won't wear because she doesn't wear jerseys very often. She has her own outfits, but they just made them and then they were playing like shake it off. And I'm like, they must have known that
That's
looks
steering
like
into it,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Taylor
I
Swift
just
only
thought
wears
that was
one-
funny.
Taylor
But
Swift only wears one.
I was also just thinking, Alex, I'm probably very out of line there. Start of the season, she probably won't be back till the new year, honestly. Because if it's ACL surgery, that's like, we're talking like 9 months.
Yeah.
So is this preseason that
four.
starts the 20th then?
I believe so.
Okay. It's
Pretty
weird.
neat. We should all pick a team and see whose team's the best. I don't know.
All right.
I mean, we are able to eat up 5 of the 6 teams.
Phil, do you want to do our
And then the
CHL
one team
stuff?
that actually wins is going to be not one of our teams.
Yeah, probably. The one that we don't pick.
And let's jump into the dub corner.
Oh, a rocky start to, well, not rocky start, a rocky last few games of the rare U.S. road trip for the Calgary Hitmen. It started with an overtime win against Seattle, which is kind of expected. Seattle's not playing great. It's kind of shocking it even went to overtime. Everett Silvertips, who are leading the Western Division, we hung with them. We're very similar to the Calgary Flames. We're hanging with pretty solid teams, but then just let it go. So that was a 5-3 loss for Calgary. And then last night against the Tri-City Americans on Remembrance Day or Veterans Day, we started out real hot. It was 4-1 after the first. Ended up being a 6-5 loss in overtime. So that was a tough one.
Yikes.
Everyone's still playing pretty good though. As usual, it's still Ben Kindle at the top there. We love to see it. Eric too. He's playing great. He's making some great saves.
Such a weird last name. You think you'd expect more? Eric 2. To what? Never mind. I don't know what I was saying.
Okay.
to what do I owe the pleasure?
Yeah, that's what I was going with it, but like everyone would have made fun of me if I made a pun. So
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's all we really got. There's not much to really go there. We play the rest of the American teams coming up here. We play Portland coming up soon. I know Carter Yakimchuk got mentioned as the guy to watch this week for Wednesday. He is playing good. He's not playing super good, but he's there. He
15
makes
points?
a move. 15 points, yeah. But he's third on the team, and he's the one who got drafted in the first round.
he was also
so.
a defenseman. Give him that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm saying he's playing Yakimchuk. He's good. He's there. He's making progress.
Sorry,
He's not. I don't know why he's the guy to watch though.
I wanted to ask you this last week. Do they bus down there?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it is crazy.
Could you imagine? I just can't.
It's actually kind of ridiculous how they get treated. Like even
Yes,
when they're
yeah.
going out to like the even more eastern teams, they're going out and back in a day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Like they're going to
crazy.
Brandon, Manitoba in a day.
They're just little kids.
And they're
Like,
just
what?
Dude,
kids. But also
I've driven-
on top of that, you have guys like Carter Yakimchuk, who's going to be playing for the Ottawa Senators in the next 2 years.
Or at least on their
and
NHL team.
you can't even afford like a $50 freaking motel room for them to stay the night.
Oh,
they have
'cause
to
they just
drive
don't
out,
even wanna
play
stay,
the
I see.
game, and then
Okay.
drive
Dude,
back
like,
and get home
Ew,
at
that's
3 in the
gross,
morning.
yeah.
I've driven the brand. Just like I have grandparents out there.
Yeah.
It is not a fun drive. It is it's almost a 12-hour drive. It is not fun.
But like, why are you so rude to these kids? These
Well,
sick
because they
and
still got
frickin'
school.
Yeah, but then I would want. Would
Do
you rather
they?
like stay at the hotel and do school?
So-
Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe
Rather than
some of
come
them,
back.
maybe
and
some,
not be-
depending
guess
on-
you
I think a
physically
part
go
of
to
it is they do actually have to go to school
I see, I
at
see.
some point.
Well, it depends. I guess
Yeah,
it would
but-
depend on the player. Like
You think you get home at 3 in the morning from a bus trip? You think your day at school the next day is going to be
Yeah,
productive?
yeah.
No.
Like, it's
Especially
not,
after playing a hockey game?
It's just not setting them up for success.
It's not. And it's like, Seasick, you have the money to give them a $50 motel room.
But that's probably. I don't even think that's just the Calgary team.
Oh,
I'm
no,
assuming
no,
that's
probably
like
not.
a lot
But
of different teams.
just
I
that
think so,
one team
too.
in the WHL that just flies everywhere.
It's probably the American teams.
Well, you could say like that's how it works even with like college football. Like they'll play a game, then they're literally just students the next day, and it's like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
just.
Again, are
This guy
they-
just Baker Mayfield just threw for
Well,
5
I
touchdowns
mean,
and 300, 400, 500
There's a
yards.
reason
He's
why
still
all
in
the
school next day.
athletes have to show up to school July 1st. Because then they do all their courses through the summer.
Yeah.
So they're taking like introduction to art through the year.
Yeah.
So they're still in school,
Yeah.
but they can. It's very much they're only on football.
Yeah.
I do know that it's been somewhat of a fight for the Hitmen to get back up to 500, and they're currently sitting at 500
Yes.
standings right now.
Yes. In a playoff spot.
Yep. They're tied with Edmonton. They're 1 point back of Red Deer, and they're 4 points up on Prince Albert.
Yep.
Do you see this team making the playoffs this year?
We'll slide in. Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're going to improve. I think
Slide on right there.
I think there's a lot of heart in this team. Very similar to the Calgary Flames. Like, they don't quit.
Yeah.
Although they kind of did
They don't
last
quit.
night.
So the Cowboys are going.
They don't
4
quit
game losing streak.
unless.
Phil, they don't
But
quit.
yeah, but I mean, you got to close game to the Tri-City Americans, who are third in the Western Conference. You got a close game until the last few minutes against the Everett Silvertips, who are the top of the Western Conference. We beat the Hurricanes, who are top of the East. Like, it's not bad.
There's pieces there.
There's pieces there.
Can we
There's
also,
pieces
like,
there.
just stay on the topic of WHL. Gavin McKenna is insane. That's all I want to say.
He is good. He
He's
is
not
very
eligible for the 2026 draft, and he's leading the WHL in points.
As is Landon DuPont.
good. Wait,
Who's also,
no. McKenna would be 26.
that's what I said. He's not
Oh, I
eligible
thought
for
you
the
said
draft
he's
until
not.
2026.
Oh, until.
Oh.
I thought you said a year's. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Q corner.
to the queue.
Let's go visit Cape Breton.
All right, so
To
it
the
has
east.
not been an easy little stretch at home for the Eagles since the last time I did this. They lost that game to Bay Camo. That was going on during our show last time. They lost 3-1. And then Charlottetown came for a back-to-back, and they lost both games to Charlottetown 4-3 and 4-2.
One was in overtime worth mentioning.
One was in overtime, so they got a point, and that puts them ahead of Halifax in the standings now. So they're 7th in the East. The East is quite close, from 2 down to pretty much 9. There's 10 points from Chicoutimi, who's in 2nd, and 18 points, who's Quebec in 9th.
No, she could be. Sorry. I like these names of some of the teams.
Well,
in the
they're
queue.
I think that's a place.
I like that. Alright.
Geographic-
Dude,
I'm sorry. We just said that. I was like, what are you?
Chicoutimi.
And like they've been all right. They were starting to right the ship. I mean, still, when you lose 6 to start the season before you win, and now you're 8-3, 1-1 in your last games, like you're pretty good.
You're feeling confident. right?
Also, like Charlottetown's the bottom of their conference.
Yeah, Charlottetown. It's weird how that league works. I'll be honest. It's like, yeah.
Who's the best player in the
It's
queue?
very late.
There's actually, I was actually going to mention that there's a couple of guys out there, 4 guys with 31 points through less than 20 games in the queue.
Whoa.
2 of them play for Royal Noranda.
I'm sorry, they play for the same team?
Yeah, 2 of them play for the same team.
That's insane.
Oh my God.
13. So one has 13 goals, 18 assists. The other one has 11 goals, 20 assists.
Oh my God.
Lars Steiner and Antonian Vero.
Holy.
And then Justin Poirier, he's the top guy because he just has the most goals. He's got 17 goals, 14 assists. And Jonathan Fauchon has 16 goals, 15 assists. And yeah, 4 guys with 31 points, 2 guys with 30.
Wow.
That's
So
crazy.
there's a lot of
Now
points
that's
going on
a
out
lot
there.
of points.
Yeah.
Can't believe that there's 2 of them on the exact same team. Is that team, I assume that team is good?
Yeah, they're 2nd in the West. The West is like kind of top heavy compared to how the East has Moncton, Chicoutimi, Bay Camo, Rimouski, and Acadie Bathurst.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all very good teams. Cape Breton is in that mix there. They had a couple guys at NHL camps for the start of the season and coming back from injuries. So yeah, they're getting there. We will see, but you know, about just under a third of the way through the season now for them, and excited to see kind of how that goes.
Did you do the look ahead for Cape Breton yet or no?
I will do the look ahead just right now.
He's looking ahead.
So they are currently on their way to Quebec for one of their many road trips. They're going to play Victoriaville, Blainville, and Shawinigan. Shawinigan will be the last game of that trip in Quebec. Then they come home to play Halifax and Shawinigan again.
She will win again.
You know, I think if they pick up 2 wins on the road this weekend, that's going to do some really good work for them, because then they could jump St. John and get closer to the top of the East.
They're in a playoff spot right now?
Yeah, they are.
Those games are Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Do
Yeah.
they just play on
Oh my
weekends?
God. I'm sorry.
No, they play
Back
through
to
the
back
week.
to back?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Just in a quick comparison, you brought up points for the queue. In the dub, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players that have 30 points or more over a range of 17 to 20 games. Leading the stand is Gavin McKenna with 37 points in 19 games.
He's also Bedard's cousin.
We have mentioned.
Yeah, we've said that. I think that's
forget.
pretty well known.
Yeah.
It's a forgetful thing.
I didn't know.
Is it?
Yes.
Not really.
I didn't know.
Is it?
Sometimes.
I didn't know.
We've said it.
I just like it because it kind of annoys Phil because he doesn't like Bedard. Or didn't
true.
like Bedard.
With people closing laptops, I guess I can just kind of end the show now.
My cousin stopped
I think
Alex
so.
Kerfoot
It
on a
is
penalty
four.
shot.
Yeah,
So
it is.
It is for me and you have a
But
class
if you
to
take
get to.
the top of the Toronto Scepters logo, it could look like a basketball.
It is 4, and that means it is time for us to close the show. We will see you guys on Thursday.
Yeah, we will.
Enjoy the Flames game tonight.
And the Hitman game tonight.
You also can't enjoy any Cape Breton games because it's not till Friday. But yeah,
They play
we will-
3 games in 3 days on the road.
That
So
is
if you
ridiculous.
really
They're gonna
want
come
to
back
watch
to
some Cape
They're gonna
Breton,
come back to school on Monday, and they're just gonna be
gonna be
dead.
yeah, what?
He's your host,
we will see you guys on Thursday for Alex Ferco, Phil Tremblay,
yeah.
Merrick Robinson,
Alejandro.
Kathy Freeman,
Boom!
and Big Red Shaw.
Go Eagles.
I got a New Jersey.
We didn't even talk about it.
I'll break away. You can't stop me